You know, today in Indonesia, it has the highest population of Muslims. Tell me which army went to Indonesia to conquer them. Go on, I'm waiting. Which Muslim army went to a country called Indonesia today, which has the highest population of... Because no one went there. They conquered them with the message of Islam, not the sword of Islam. So your assumption that Islam was spread by the sword has got no basis.
No, but what I'm saying is that in the way Islam spread, you just have to occupy land. You just have to occupy people, and you put your rule on them.
But isn't that what England did as well? The colonialist English, who went with the priests, the Christians, they went all around the world to spread Christianity by sword. I can use the same argument.
And that's what they did, and they fought.
Before the United Nations, there was no nation states like the way we have today. So at that time, might was right. So whichever country was mighty in power, they would hoist their flag and take over.
Before Islam, the Middle East was not spread by the sword. Christianity
Which country? So what was the religion?
By prayer,
No. What was the religion of the Middle East before Islam? You don't know nothing about history. You're just making claims.
Well, I don't know what was.
You know, today, some of the oldest...
there was a lot of Christianity in...
Yeah, and how were they spreading it?
Yeah.
Yes, the colonial...
Not by the sword.
Yes.
Have you not heard of the Spanish Inquisition? The Crusades the Crusades came from Europe to the Middle East.
No, that's not the Crusades.
So what is it then?
I'm sorry, the Crusades was a very specific area.
No, Crusades is not an area. Crusade is a movement of the... Yes. So the Crusades were Christians, the Spanish Inquisition, they were also Christians. And they spread their religion by sword.
No.
They killed every Christian in Jerusalem, including the Jewish, including the Muslims. They conquered Jerusalem and they massacred all the inhabitants, even the Christians, because they were not their kind of Christians. Please go and educate yourself about the history of Christianity and its atrocities through the Crusades, through the Spanish Inquisition, through colonialism. Okay?
Let me just say that the reason why the Crusades were called by Urban II was because the Christians were being massacred in all the lands around Jerusalem, and people were not allowed to go and to their place.
The land of Jerusalem didn't belong to the Christians. What are you on about? It never belonged to the Christians.
Are you telling me when they conquered, they all got...
Conquered. Did you see the key word there? Conquered. Thank you. So she's telling me they conquered it. I rest my case.
Conquered the lands of Jerusalem that were Christian.
From the Christians. From the Christians and Jews.
Yes.
So you really think the Christians did not kill the Jews when they entered Jerusalem?
No, I'm not denying it.
Thank you. So once again, she's agreeing with me that they killed the Jews by conquering Jerusalem. It's the same thing, lady. You're basically telling me the same thing.
No. I'm sorry. In early Christianity, if you read the Acts and how Christianity spread, it did not spread in Jerusalem by the sword.
How did it spread?
Because that's why there were still Jews there.
How did it spread?
It spread only by the sword.
No. Look. Early Christianity, it was the Romans. The Romans were the ones ruling. Okay? So they persecuted the Christians. I agree about that. What I'm saying is that after, when the Christians actually got the power, yes, they started persecuting the minorities in their own countries. Yes? So the Christians who did not agree with Catholicism, they would massacre them. So you heard about Servetus, yes, who was a Unitarian Christian, who was burned on the stake. And there were many other Christians who were burned on the stake because they did not agree with the Catholics, with the Catholics. You know, this place is the same. They used to burn here, the Catholics. The Protestants used to burn them. So there was a lot of infighting amongst the Christians themselves. When you talk about atrocities, do you know what Jesus will do in his second coming?
But we changed the subject. The subject was that
Christianity. Still Christianity.
Was that Muhammad was saying people have to come and pray in lines, and if they don't pray in the lines, they will be burnt.
No, the Muslims don't burn anyone. Don't lie, please.
It is in the hadith.
Which hadith? Go on, bring the hadith. Bring the hadith, go on. Don't bring up then if you don't know the topic.
No, the hadith is saying, bro.
The thing is, there were many Christians and Jews who became Muslims by their own choice. Abdullah bin Salam, yes, Salman al-Farsi was a Christian. He became a Muslim. Abdullah bin Salam was a Jew. He was actually one of the rabbis of the Jews. He became a Muslim by his own choice. So do not bring up this
Do not
propaganda
say
of the
that
Christians.
everybody has choices when Muslims do not have choice to live Islam.
What?
Muslims do not have choice to
There
live
are
Islam.
many ex-Muslims today.
So
What are you on about? They do have a choice. Of course they have a
Are
choice.
Christians past killed by their parents if they leave?
No, the Christians used to persecute.
No way.
The Christians used to persecute anyone who did not agree with their kind of Christianity.
The reason why there was an inquisition was because they wanted to get rid of the Muslims who were oppressing them.
No.
That is what
The Muslims were not
does.
oppressing them. The Muslims at that time
They
gave
were
them.
enslaving them. They were
No.
enslaving to the harem.
Oh, really?
Haram.
I think you really have. You can't sit on a high horse and say enslaving when your colonialism was responsible for slavery on a massive scale.
And who were the people who were
The Christians.
And who were
The Christians,
people?
yes.
Who were the people
Enslaving the
who were
Africans,
actually
enslaving the Asians,
capturing
enslaving everyone in their path.
Africans
Colonialists
who were
telling us about slavery,
capturing
seriously.
and selling them.
Come on,
Who
please.
were capturing, it was the Muslims who were capturing and selling the Africans.
You know, the colonials actually had a boat, and they would do it on an industrial level. On an industrial level, that is colonial
Africans
Christians who would do it.
had the penises fully cut in order.
What are you on
not
about?
to reproduce.
What are you on about? You really have to get your history right.
No, I'm sorry. Slavery, Islamic slavery.
What about the Christian slavery?
Islamic
Do you
slavery?
condemn it? Do you condemn the Christian slavery?
Of course.
You do?
Yeah.
So what have you done about it? Say something to the camera about the Christian slavery. Let's see if you can.
Where is the slavery now?
See what I mean?
What can we do?
First she said, of course she'll condemn it. And when I ask her to condemn it, she goes, where is the slavery now? Where is the Muslim slavery now? Condemn the slavery. Condemn the slavery of Christianity.
Now is because of the Christian who invaded, and he said no more bad treatment of Christians, and then they changed the laws to make sure that even the Muslims had equal
You know when was
rights.
Christianity, when was slavery abolished by the Christians?
Just
Do you
like
know?
the Americans came to Afghanistan to try to help them.
Yeah, they were Christians. Don't forget that. Those Americans were Christians.
Yes.
And they come with the crosses and the churches and the priests. Yes?
Build the country.
No, build not the country. After 20 years, they say we failed. And they came out of Afghanistan after destroying it, sending it back to the Stone Age. So don't tell me they came to build a country. That's nonsense, utter nonsense.
The Afghanis are the extremists following Islam of Muhammad.
Do you know why? Do you know why you have extremism over there? It's because their lands were conquered first by the Russians and then by the colonialists, the Christians. And then when they fight back, you call them extremists. What do you expect them to do? Sit back and take the bombs that rain on them, that kill their children with drones even today? What are you on about? Go and look at your own history. People who live in glass houses should not throw stones.
I'm sorry. The reason why they went
should
to
be.
Afghanistan is because they were threatening, and they were
Whom were they threatening?
teaching their children
Whom were they
that
threatening?
They must be terrorists, that they must go. And
That's
they must
utter
kill
nonsense.
an infidel.
They don't even have food to eat today. Yes? And they are saying they are actually threatening by making their children to become
Are they not
extremists.
madrasas
That's
in
nothing.
Afghanistan?
What does a madrasa mean?
What is a madrasa?
Do you know
What
what-
I'm telling them,
do you know what a
they are
madrasa
teaching
means?
them- they are
Let's see if
teaching
she knows
them
that.
to be Suicide bombers.
That's rubbish. Do you know what a madrasa means? Let's see if you know what it means. What does a madrasa mean? Why you confused look on your face? Because madrasa actually means a school.
Of course.
So are you telling them you shouldn't have schools?
No, not Islamic schools.
What?
It's destroying all of Pakistan. Islamic schools destroying all of
That's
Pakistan. They are teaching them that
No, it is
Pakistan nation
it is the Christians who bomb them that's destroying the countries, not the madrasas.
is anti-Islamic.
It is the bombs that is destroying them, the ones that are manufactured by Europe and the Americans. These bombs, these weapons of mass destruction which you manufacture, which the Christian countries manufacture, it is what is destroying the world today. The weapons of mass destruction that you manufacture. Yes, not you personally, obviously. I'm talking about the Christians, the Crusaders. Today, majority of the weapons of mass destruction come from where? From majority Christian countries. Okay, you cannot deny that.
And they are selling to who? To Saudi Arabia.
Why is that funny?
Because you're saying...
Because you think weapons of mass destruction, when they're bought by the Muslims, is funny. But if you didn't manufacture them in the first place, then who would get it?
No, I'm saying.
Think, lady, think. Don't be prejudiced towards the Muslims just because you happen to be a Christian. Tell me, why don't you actually read your Bible for a change? When Jesus will come in his second coming and he will massacre everyone who doesn't make him the king.
It doesn't say that.
It does say that. Have you read Revelation? Shall I show you? Shall I show you from the Bible? Read Revelation, okay, chapter 19. Go and read it, and it's in there. Go and read your Bible for a change. You know when the Old Testament and the New Testament, both of them talk about the mass massacre of children? The only book today, the only holy book today that talks about mass massacre of babies is your Bible. Numbers 31.
Sorry.
1 Samuel 15. I'm giving you the reference. Matthew 15:24. All these are in your Bible. Matthew 15:3 and 4. All these things are in your Bible. Why didn't you read it for a change? And then you come and talk about who does more atrocities.
Are you teaching me what is 10 Commandments?
I'm teaching you what's in the Bible.
Us what is 10 Commandments? Thou shalt not kill is one of our main commandments. We should not kill. But when somebody comes and destroys 2 buildings in 2 minutes, in one day, 2 huge buildings, and they could come and do more.
What about all
What can you do but go to Afghanistan?
What about all the mass massacres of babies in the Bible? Numbers 31, where Moses is told to massacre everyone and just keep for themselves little girls who have not slept with a man. All the virgin girls should be saved. Do you know why? For sex slavery. Go and read it up. Go and read it. Go and read it. Numbers 31. Okay, tell me. Okay, you tell me, why did they kill the little boys and not the little girls? Why? Why would they kill the little boys and not the little girls?
Slavery stopped here in the Middle Ages. Slavery.
No. Slavery was still in United States. They still had a toilet for a black person and a toilet for a white person until 1960. That is the 20th century. United States was a Christian country majority.
There were many people who didn't support slavery. And there were many
Your Bible
people
does.
in America.
Your Bible does.
The reason why they had slavery was because they had someone to pick the cotton. They had no machines to pick the
So why can't the white man pick the cotton? Why only the black man?
I'm not saying it was good.
She's justifying it by cotton picking.
No.
And then I asked her, why not the white man? She has no answer for that. Okay? So try to understand your Bible. Have you read your Bible? Honestly, have you? You haven't. Most Christians do not read the Bible because it's too atrocious. Yes, I am teaching you. I'm giving you the references so you can go home and check it.
The Muslims are not allowed to have Bibles. They are not allowed to read Bibles.
Who said that? Who told you that?
Our man is coming to teach.
That is a lot of nonsense. If you go to Dubai, they have churches, they have temples, they have even...
Don't lie. In Dubai,
What?
Muslims cannot get Bible just like that.
No.
They cannot read for themselves.
Why do they have churches there then?
Because there are Christians who live there. And they are allowed to
Why are there no mosques in the Vatican?
Why should that be?
Did you see the double standards? First she says you're not allowed to give Qurans. When we ask her, why don't you have mosque in the Vatican in a Christian country? She goes, why should we? I'm giving the same answer. Why should we then?
We can all line up and destroy. We can all line up in lines and stop.
Look at the anger in that face. Look at the anger.
Like they do.
There's a prejudice and the atrocities that they have committed that's coming to light.
So they can
When Jesus comes in his second coming,
and it can cause problems.
when Jesus comes in the second coming, he's going to line up everyone and massacre everyone who doesn't accept him as a warrior king.
Who does?
Jesus.
No, I don't believe that.
Why don't you read your Bible? Read your Bible for a change. In the Gospel of Luke, when Jesus says that bring in front of me those who don't believe me and kill them.
No, it's not true. Why were they getting crucified?
She hasn't read the Bible, that's why. Okay, she doesn't even know her Bible. When I said in the second coming of Jesus, which is very clear in the book of Revelations, where he'll come and massacre, where he'll have a tongue like a sword. Yes, and his robes will be dipped in crimson blood. The blood of whom, you know? The blood of anyone who disagrees with Jesus, and that includes the Jews, unlike the other guy who lied about the Jews not being. If you actually read Gil's...
Muhammad never killed Muhammad.
Why stop interrupting? You're done. Okay, so anyway, Jazakallah khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Yeah, you're right.
Muslim children never killed no Muslim.
Of course they did not.